Welcome to Game of Roses. This is PaceCase.
This is Survivor Clues. We just crawled through the mud and the wood chips of episode 6 to get to the merge.
You look gross.
No, this is why I know I could never play this game. As soon as they're like, you have to crawl through
every single reason.
Yeah, it's that. It's the sun. It's the surf. It's the sand. It's the smells. I'm sure all these people. I just constantly am like, these people stink. There's no way they don't.
Yeah. Episode 3, they talked about how much they stunk.
There's a lot of sniff play going on. We saw a little bit of it tonight.
Okay. A couple of things. Number one, I'm so sorry to everyone that I'm not Liz Wilcox. This is Lizzie Pace. I'm back. And did I watch the last few episodes of Survivor? No. Have I been on Survivor? No.
Shit.
But I'm sorry. It's me. But Liz will be back. I'm hearing rumors.
Potentially. I think she might come to join us at the finale. But yeah, we've loved having Liz Wilcox. Can't thank her enough for joining me for the past 3 episodes. But now we got the Lizzie Pace.
And I
back
watched
in the pilot seat.
This episode 6. And at the commercials, I watched parts of episode 3. So I'm almost caught up.
I can catch you up on anything else.
I'll be caught up by next week. It's pretty clear to me which people have gone home. Mm-hmm. Pizza, gone.
Yeah. He got kind of crushed, but he made Cedric promise him that he would come visit him at his pizza place. Before we begin this recap, we must also say thank you to everybody who purchased Game of Rosé. We are currently sold out of it. So if you had a chance to get a bottle or several bottles or whatever, enjoy them. There will probably be another batch of this, I think, ready around the time of Paradise. Mm-hmm. So keep your eyes open for that. We will be talking about it, but we have sold out of this first batch of it. And again, thank you to everybody who partook and has partaken and continues to partake.
Yeah, I can't wait for the summer rosé batch.
And thank you to Colin Styring for putting it all together. Brewing the wine? It's not brewing. What is it called?
Manifesting?
Fermenting the wine? Cooking it? I don't know how you make wine.
You smash grapes with your bare feet. Mm-hmm. I know that.
Distilling,
and then you make labels that say wine on them. Like Pilot Pete and Kelsey Weir.
We should call it wine. I'll never forget it. God, that was a good episode. All right, let's jump into this pace case, shall we?
I wanted to say I did drink the wine at my wedding.
Oh, nice.
Wedding morning, had my own wine. That was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I ate a donut at your wedding.
You can thank Jake for that.
Thank you, Jake.
His idea.
Thanks for the donut.
Also, the glitter station was his idea. Can you believe that?
I got my face glittered.
You did? Oh, yeah. I gotta see pics. Send me some pics.
It was done to me.
I mean, I know you've dabbled into face paint reluctantly before.
when we used to do our satanic rituals.
Paint yourself for our rituals. I couldn't believe how many people participated. It was so cute. And I'm going to cry if I think about it. Let's talk about season 48, episode 6 of Survivor.
Yes. We begin. It is Siva, night 11. Siva slinks back to their tribe, Sans Bianca, who made that fatal error last game, telling Cedric that she didn't have a vote. I still can't believe she did that. Just what a bonehead. And of course, she was dismissed for her horrible play. Cedric wants to talk to everybody about what happened. Say says, no, fuck you. I'm talking to Chrissy. I'm talking to Mitch, not you, motherfucker. You have betrayed me too many times. You've lied again. And Cedric then has to do some damage control, saying, look, I just found out Bianca didn't have a vote. We had to vote that way. I didn't have, it was a game time decision. No. And,
I do think Cedric will be like, he continues to get by, even though I've seen him mess up multiple challenges, but I don't think it's ever gonna, I don't know. We'll see. And I love watching Say play. What will she do next? Great. I have no idea, but she is playing out loud.
Playing out loud just by the seat of her pants, it seems like, and just narrowly avoiding getting eliminated every game, it seems like. But Say here wants to know who was the one person that voted for her at Tribal Council. Mitch has to come clean. He apologizes. I freaked out. And it seems like Say is accepting his apology here. Mitch then ITMs that his first tribal council was a nightmare. He looked like a fool. If you don't have your crap together in this game, it could be you whose torch gets snuffed out. Then we get our titles. Day 12. We see a boat coming to the island. There's a man in the boat that hands Kyle a message, and this boat messenger was my Jorge Moreno, bystander of the week.
He was also my Jorge Moreno, bystander of the week. I guess the boatmen will be our only bystanders.
Yes, I think so. I mean, do they ever have
sometimes there will be people serving food, maybe at the merge feast or something. Okay.
Do they have ever celebrities show up to like help Dark Lord Jeff host a challenge or anything?
Dark Lord Jeff would never. This is Survivor.
He doesn't give up control.
He doesn't give up any control.
That's right.
No, but I want to say sometimes they bring the families in. Mm-hmm. I guess they're not bystanders, but
yeah.
Dark Lord Jeff, good Lord, I want whatever he is on because I don't have that kind of energy.
He's on HGH.
Oh, right.
I would assume. We see Kyle read this message. It's day 12 and the game is about to change. Drop your buffs and collect your things. A boat is going to take you to your new home. Vula drops their buffs and Kyle ITMs that he and Camilla survived. Even made some new allies in Joe and Shaheen. We see Siva getting their written demand to drop their buffs, collect their items. Chrissy ITMs that this is like being in the fire department. She's nervous and excited. That's, I guess, what it's like for firefighters to like, there's a fire, time to put it out. Oh, I'm nervous and excited.
I was so confused by this similarity. It felt like a Bachelor person be like, I'm just going to compare it to the fire department. But I'm like, aren't you like horrified? Isn't it bad? Don't you? I mean, I guess you like fires.
Did you ever see a movie called Backdraft?
No.
It's a 90s movie.
Sounds
about
old.
Firefighters. 90s. But it was very famous when it came out. Ron Howard directed it. And it's like all of the fire effects in it are real fire. So they had to make these like crazy sets and all this kind of shit.
Oh, God.
And, in it,
that does not seem necessary.
Well, I mean, it made it really crazy. It was a great movie, but there was one guy in it who is a firefighter, but he talks about like how he likes fires and the fire is magic and you can see its soul and all this kind of shit.
Oh, so pyros.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a good movie. If you've never seen it, I would recommend it. Although I haven't seen it in 20 years.
Recommend or comparing everything to your job to remind us, oh yeah, you're the fire person. Mm-hmm. I love David's ITM here. He said he shows us his guns and then he says, I got muscle up here too. He has muscle in his brain.
Maybe he was just talking about his skeletal muscles along his skull. We all have muscles here. That's how you can control your eyebrows and
Botox.
Kind of make your face move around. I can wiggle my ears kind of.
You can wiggle your ears?
A little bit.
Freaky.
Can you see
it? You're as muscular as David.
I got muscles.
Musk boys.
Here. But none in the brain. There ain't no muscles there. Star talks to herself and sings a song about the boats being on the way. She ITMs that she's about peace today. We can do war tomorrow,
is a
she says.
guide.
Yeah, Star really started to take flight here in this episode. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen a lot from her. She kind of started to take center stage, which is great. The tribes all meet up, hug it out as the old tribes are reunited, say ITMs that she and Mary went from mortal enemies to allies, and she's happy to see Mary. Then Mary, of course, gets the counter ITM where she's like, my stomach's in knots about playing with Say. I don't want to see her anymore, basically.
Mary's hilarious.
Yeah,
her colorful narration is so good. I just got to the part where they're chasing each other around the woods in episode 3. Hilarious. I was laughing out loud the whole time.
Yeah, she's really good. Even here, she has a little bit of colorful narration where she's wearing a shirt that has some green on it. And she's like, I don't want to be wearing green anymore. The only reason I'm wearing this shirt is so I'm not naked on national television. Pretty good line.
Yeah.
We then see the players encounter a sign that says, read with all trade mates together. And it says, tomorrow you'll compete in a grueling challenge. Some are going to feast, some will not. Only one will be immune. Hidden somewhere out here is an advantage to help that person be the first to find it. And then everybody just takes off into the jungle. They're all looking for this advantage idol. Charity trails Say And she sees the idol out in the middle of the field, and she's like, oh shit, this is mine, I'm gonna go for it. And then Say just busts out of nowhere, must be watching Charity, sees her make a break for it, and is like, fuck that, I'm taking it. And Say just beats her in a leg race. This is pure physical play.
I loved this. Say comes out of the jungle. She's somehow camouflaged into the green. You don't see her coming. It's so good. Next portion, we get Joe and David comparing how they both drink a gallon of milk a day. Is this some sort milk of man podcast thing? Drinking a gallon of milk?
No, Liz Wilcox theorized that David's fascination with whole milk comes from the fact that he has 4 nipples, which he revealed in one of the episodes. I don't know if it's related
to the nipples.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it is related, but definitely David has talked about how he doesn't even drink water. He only drinks milk. And now to find that another player this season is also obsessed with milk, it was a shock to me. It was surprising, but I did like to see them bonding over it.
I did too. And for David, it feels real. Joe, I wouldn't be surprised if he's just like, oh yeah, I do that too. Just to be like, we're milk boys. You got to connect with people over whatever, just like the California boys. Yeah.
Something that California can't be proven too is a good way. It's a good lie to be able to tell. But this discusses.
He's like, only chocolate. Oh yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah, exactly. Chocolate milk. Yeah. What else do you eat? Sandwiches? I love sandwiches. Yes, me too. Eva agrees with me that this is disgusting because she delivers this look of horrified repulsion at the thought of any one person drinking a gallon of milk per day. That was not my face play of the game. It was close. I do love Eva's face plays. But it didn't make it.
I saw a picture of her online that made me think she was going to get kicked off or had been kicked off, and I panicked, but I'm really glad that was not true. I drank 3 glasses of milk a day as a child.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
I've been pretty repulsed by it my entire life. Shaheen here ITMs that he hasn't had a gallon of milk in the entire past year. It's a child's drink.
It's a child's drink.
Everyone agrees it's grotesque.
It's good to keep that to your ITMs though.
Yeah. But Shaheen does say maybe that's where Joe gets his pecs from, his milk guzzling.
We see Eva and Joe have a one-on-one, the 4TRR duo. And Eva says, David is my ally. And David says he has Kyle. And she says, I have Star's idol. She publicly gave it to me. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. This is wild.
That was almost my error of the game until Bianca said she didn't have a vote. Oh. Yeah, the giving of the idol. Basically, Star couldn't figure out the Da Vinci device. And Eva helped her figure it out, so she just gave it to Eva. But it came on the heels of a play that Eva made where she did a group PTC about her autism to the whole group, and everybody was crying. Joe came and gave her a hug. And on the heels of that, then she solved this puzzle. She was like a mastermind last episode.
So much happens in a couple episodes because the last ITM I saw from Star was like, she was like, why is Eva talking to me? Like, we then see, they want to have this group that is joined by honesty and being physical threats. Yeah. I'm very curious how this is going to go.
Yeah, it's interesting. In this moment, Joe is talking to David about playing an honest game. And David's like, I don't like the backstabbing. I don't want to be a shield for somebody. And David is ITMing that they're getting strong people together to win. They're going to get rid of the liars, the manipulators, and the puzzle solvers. And I'm like, well, I get the liars and the manipulators, but don't you want the puzzle solvers? Aren't you going to have them to win any challenge? Seems like all challenges end with a
seems like an add-on. Puzzle. He's like, and let's get rid of all the people that don't drink milk.
Yeah, if you don't got a muscle
You're
up
lactose
here,
intolerant.
If you got too many muscles in other pieces of the body, but not here in brain, if you don't have brain muscle, you can't be part of our alliance. Kyle and David.
Yeah, he says, no, we're not going to be meat shields. You're always trying to treat us like meat shields. And this, I'm so interested to see how this alliance / strategy works out because, Clues and I were just talking about how a person can win Survivor before this. And I was like, yeah, a lot of random people win because they do this. They do take out the big physical threats. and the people that everyone likes too, like the charismatic people.
Yeah, my understanding is like once it gets down to the end, you're going to be in a group of 3 people, and all the rest of the people who have been eliminated are going to vote for which of those 3 they want to have the $1 million.
Everyone who makes it to the merge gets to vote.
Right, the merge. So you at this point are trying to basically, in the psychosocial dynamic game of this, do 2 things: not fuck anybody over and get sympathy from people. Make them believe that you need the money more than each other, or maybe 3 things. Also get respect for your game. That's another path to getting one of those votes. Like if you do something malicious, as long as it's within the confines of what people believe to be a viable play within the game.
Great game. Like it could be, if you are credited with pulling off a blind side.
Yeah, something like that. And but the target of the blind side, unless that person is like has reverence for the game, may be like, fuck you, I'm never voting for you. So it's like a hard path to walk. I don't know. We'll have to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, it's a very, very complicated game.
Yeah.
Joe says, yes, we can keep Shaheen in our alliance, but keep an eye on him.
Gotta watch him, yeah.
And Kyle ITMs, I know I'm in this alliance of like strong boys who are for TRR, but I also have already lied a lot, and I have this alliance with Camilla, who I also really love. So secret liar in the no liars club. We cut to Siva, and we see that
Mitch, Charity, and Camilla are talking about bringing the old Siva together to be this Siva 6 strong alliance that will give them mathematical advantage going into any of these group tribal councils. Mitch ITMs that he has a vote block, so they're in good shape. Charity tells Mitch and Camilla that Eva has an idol. So all this information is getting shared now that was known in the smaller tribes. Now it's all coming together. The old tribes are getting back together. They're sharing the information. Charity ITMs that they have to get rid of Eva to hurt Joe and get her idol out of the game. She would never operate like this in the real world, she says, but this is how the game is played. We see Star and Charity are talking, and Charity is trying to convince Star. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, Charity trying to convince Star to give her idol back is my error of the game. There's no reason to do this. Why are you are just playing a messy game and I don't see how it advantages you at all. Like, I guess if the idol gets back in play, it advantages you, but that's you're stirring up a lot of trouble in order to get a tiny possible general award. Doesn't make any sense.
Charity trying to get Star to make this absolutely insane play was also my error of the game. Because it kicked off a kind of cascade of errors where she was trying to be hardcore, very openly manipulative of these other players. The only reason to tell Star to do this is to make Star look bad, to make Eva not like, wait a minute, you gave me this idol, now you're asking for it back. Now Eva will have distrust for Star. She's very clearly trying to drive a wedge there and trying to separate Star from the other group. And it's just like, are you kidding me? Like, if you give somebody an idol, which is an invaluable kind of tool in this game, it seems, you can never ask for it back in any real way.
No.
It's insane. It's insane to even suggest.
I can't believe when anyone gives anyone an idol unless it's like they're secretly doing it at tribal council to save that person or something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm like, why would you ever do it? Charity is not like some close ally with Star that I'm aware of. So it's just like it is a very odd move. She's not a good player.
And it backfires immediately.
Yeah.
Star goes to Eva and Joe and is like, Charity's trying to get me to get the idol back. And they're like, what? This is fucking crazy. Like, immediately it has put her in a targeted kind of position.
It's an unforced error.
Yeah, for sure. Then we get portion 3 is the first of 2 challenges that we're going to get in this game. Dark Lord Jeff welcomes everybody and he takes glee in telling them that it only gets more difficult from here. The amount of pleasure this man takes in the displeasure of others is at a level that I don't think even Dark Lord Harrison had.
Oh no. Dark Lord Jeff is so dark. The way he is screaming at the players who are covered in mud trying to get through that thing, and he's like in their face screaming at them. I'm like,
this is Survivor.
DLH would have.
You know what you missed last week?
What?
Dark Lord Jeff shed tear. Yes.
At the autism thing?
Yes. When he allows, Eva basically gives this big PTC about her autism, and she gets overwhelmed.
At a challenge?
The challenge came down to her versus Say on the two teams to like roll this ball in a little kind of maze thing. And she couldn't do it. And she was like crying and breaking down. And finally she did it and her team won in like the final second or whatever. And she breaks down. And then Dark Lord Jeff is like, Joe, I can see you want to give her a hug. Go ahead. He benevolently allows him to break ranks.
Benevolent hug.
And then he's giving her the hug, and Dark Lord Jeff is then like, it was a very like fatherly moment, and I have a daughter, and it touched me. And he sheds a fucking tear. You ever see Chris Harrison fucking cry?
But where's the PTC played?
Right at the end of that, she wins the challenge, and then she's like, you guys may not know this about me, and why this was so hard is because I have autism, and
Gotcha.
And it was a great play. It was my play of the game. Anyways,
I mean, it's gotta be if it gets Star to give her the idol and extracts a dark tear.
I know.
That's I can't wait to watch that. I will catch up by next week.
All right. Dark Lord Jeff here explains the challenge. He's going to divide them into 2 teams of 6, and then it's just a simple challenge. Crawl through the mud, crawl through a pile of wood shavings, get to a cage, use a grappling hook to retrieve a large bag containing a key that's inside the cage, climb a rope wall, use the key to unlock a puzzle. Then you have to have 2 people put the puzzle pieces together. Simple. Winner gets merge meal. Biggest reward of the season, but no immunity and no merge buff, not yet. The losing 6, he says, have no shot at anything.
And he calls them losers later, which I loved.
You have no shot at anything.
This is definitely a thing that came later in the game of this like quote unquote limbo where you're at the merge, but not really. And one person is not even going to get to be on the jury.
I like it.
Yeah, of course. Why
limbo.
not?
It's a good mechanic.
I mean, because getting to the merge is such a like feather in the cap for a Survivor player, so why not?
You will affect the finals in one way or another if you're in the merge.
More screen time.
Then he says the winning 6 are going to compete for an individual immunity necklace and the merge buff. Whoever wins this is going to be the first person who makes it into the merge, and of course they're immune that night at this tribal council. Everybody else has to go to tribal council and is up for elimination. And Charity delivers a 10-finger kid watching a horror movie face mask play that was my
face play of the game.
It was this. It was like this.
Oh, you love the finger face plays.
I love finger masks. They just can't be beat. It's like Bane. What challenge is this, Batman?
We see then. By the way, I was about to write down what the challenge was, and I was like, I know Clues is just going to describe every weird element of this. I don't need to write it.
How can you fucking not? These challenges are insane
because they're so boring.
Right, they're too complicated. It takes away any drama because you're like, wait a minute. Okay, I just saw a guy crawl through the mud. Now they're covered in mud, and like that's visually sometimes interesting, I guess. But then now they got to crawl through a wood chip,
but then you can't tell who they are. So then it's meaningless. Yeah. It's just a bunch of mud piles. But this is where he screams to the person who's crawling through. This is Survivor.
Yeah.
I love that.
This is Survivor. Getting mud and wood chips. Like, why the wood chips? It's just so that shit can get stuck in the mud. Exactly. Yeah. It's absurd.
It's humiliation.
I think they could make these challenges better.
There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. No. And all the puzzles are always the Survivor logo, too. It's nothing cool. Like
Mona Lisa.
I mean, I skip them normally.
They should do a puzzle.
Well, I'm skipping the ones of the old episodes, I'll be honest.
Beeple Craps image.
Boring. But I did we get a prayer here. Say gets the advantage idol. So she gets to skip to the individual immunity challenge. So she is the only one not covered in mud. And she does do a little Christian prayer.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, God, for giving me this advantage, and I don't have to be covered in mud.
She also gets to go to the merge meal. So she's already through to the merge meal, which is, in this game, I think caloric intake does matter.
Yeah.
We hear Dark Lord Jeff, let's get it on, taken from Big John McCarthy of UFC fame. And then here's the challenge.
I thought it was like, let's get it on, that song.
I believe it's from Big John McCarthy, who's a UFC referee.
Could be.
The challenge then, teams are: orange is Charity, Eva, Shaheen, Cedric, Mitch, and Joe. Purple is Mary, Chrissy, Camilla, Kyle, David, and Star. Say is sitting out. The mud is thick, says Dark Lord Jeff, as they are crawling under this mud, drenched in it. There's the fucking pieces of the wood is on them. They're fucking hoisting this shit up. They're pulling the bag out. All the shit's falling out. They find the keys. And Joe, at one point, they're trying to get up this wall that has like a rope kind of net ladder on it. Cedric's having a tough time getting up this wall. At one point, Joe positions himself as a human step stool for Cedric. Literally, like, crawl on me, just, he's like stepping on him and shit.
He says, I'm laddering, I'm a human ladder, climb me.
And Cedric is definitely the weak link on Team Orange. Purple is already halfway done with the puzzle before Cedric can even get over the wall. Purple stalls. Orange seems to be catching up in the puzzle portion. Unfortunately,
no,
this is all
catching up.
Editing.
It's always fake.
Purple crushes it. And they get the merge meal, the shot at individual immunity. Orange gets nothing. He says, no food, no buff, no shot at immunity. DL Jeff informs the 6 losers they will watch. He's like, losers will watch the next individual challenge. And so then portion 4 begins. It is that individual challenge. Mary, Chrissy, Camilla, Kyle, Star, Say, and David. DL Jeff says, you get the merge meal, but you got to do this challenge first. And it's very simple. Balance a ball on a pole. You add more pole to the bottom of the pole. Last person left with pole and ball gets immunity and merge buff. And you have to place hands lower on pole between the union joints of the new pieces of pole. Mm-hmm. So this is a pole and ball challenge. Now, they did this exact challenge on a show called The GOAT, created by Elon Gale, that had Grocery and Tasha in the first and only season of it. And Tasha won this challenge.
Good for her.
Yeah. And it was harder on The GOAT, I have to say. Because on The GOAT...
I like these types of challenges, actually. The outlast part of it. Because it seems a little bit more fair also for like gender, etc.
Yeah, it's more about like stamina and endurance. There's a psychological element to it. But these little, the plates that they're balancing the balls on have kind of a lip on it. So you can have it kind of angled and the ball might still stay on there. When they did it on The GOAT, it was just a flat piece of fucking circular wood that you had to balance it. There was no lip on the outer ring. It was wild. That kind of money. And Tasha was just statued, like never fucking moved an inch. She was so good at it.
Good for her.
Yeah.
I do feel like it's like a Pilates. Pilates people would be good. Yeah. But first out is Chrissy. Next out.
On the third pole piece. She doesn't even get fucking 4 pole. She dropped out at 3 pole. Do you believe that shit?
Yes. I like, sometimes I think the people who know they're not going to win, they're just like, whatever. People are commenting on Mary's kangaroo neck, and then she's next out. Then Say's out. David's out.
There's also a moment where DL Jeff jokes about David being ready for his close-up because David is doing statue play. He's holding pole here, kind of in the middle of his chest, and just looking straight forward, not looking up at the ball at all. And DL Jeff goes, oh, look at David. He's ready for his close-up. And then DL Jeff actually makes like a movie frame thing with his hands and goes, and then they do it. They give us the close-up. DL Jeff is literally in real time directing the show. I found that to be pretty interesting. And they look like
statues because they're covered in cement.
Yep.
And David is a famous statue. Coincidence?
That's true.
Then David is out, Star's out, and then Kyle wins the first individual immunity challenge. He gets that first blue buff, that sweet merge buff.
And Kyle's... Oh, sorry, you got this? Huh?
I don't know what you're saying.
Kyle's incredible pole play. At one point, DL Jeff said about this pole play, that is a lot of pole you're balancing. Kyle's pole balancing play was my play of the game. There was, in the entirety of the game, there was nothing more important than winning this challenge in tonight's game. And Kyle did it, period. Rose to the challenge, took center stage, and said, I will balance pole. And he did it.
Kyle winning the pole play was also my play of the game. I really like Kyle as a contender. He's got good social play. He's got good physical play.
And he's got that secret union with Camilla that nobody knows about. I feel like
couple is always a good secret union.
Yes. And nobody knows about it. It
great.
Seems like in terms of a psychosocial dynamic game, having somebody that you can essentially turn an entire table with if you need to, if it's like everybody's voting this way, but not you two. And maybe she has some players she's putting in her pocket as well. It's just such an invaluable kind of thing to be able to pivot if you need to. He doesn't need to, though. So far, he's comp beasting this whole goddamn season. I mean, there's only been one challenge, but.
And like you're saying with the different like things that people respect in order to vote for you, the challenge play is good, but the having a secret alliance? Jesus Christ. That jet lag. Yeah. The alliance of two that's secret, that you actually keep secret for a long time. People respect that as a good gameplay. And Kyle says it was crucial. We then see the merge feast on day 13, and we get a gross bunch of cuts of people burping as they slop down all the food.
Are they drinking fucking beer? It looks like they have.
I think so.
Bottles of beer.
They often drink.
So imagine that. You haven't fucking eaten anything. You've been out there for 13 days, just like you're already loopy, and then you throw a beer down your throat. You'd be drunk in a second.
I would not drink. Or I would maybe fake drink, but like it doesn't seem like a good thing to do when you're trying to like
I'd get hammered as hell.
Bunch of good calories.
I get drunk as hell.
But the merge feast is also important for the strategizing.
Yeah.
And we get Mary's the first one who says, should we talk? And it's like a good like general opener. But then Star goes, I'm down for charity. And Star ITMs, my brother-in-law said not to say names first, but sorry, Robbie.
Yeah, I'm saying names all day long. That was great play by her. She really became like a great, colorful narrator this episode. Yeah. I also want to visit what they're eating. I saw brownies, nachos, wings, but later Say lays it all out when they come back together. But like, is that the usual merge meal? Is it like just kind of junk food type
American
shit?
Food, burgers.
I'd be like, can I have a pot of gruel, please?
Things of meat. You'd be like,
what the fuck is this
powering
shit?
The corner with your like full face cowl thing on and like being like, I'll just take the beans, please.
Yeah, where's my broccoli, tomato, onion, garlic, Brussels sprouts, kale,
you could probably make
spinach,
some of that
cabbage.
Out of it. There probably is salad.
Where's my fresh turmeric
it tends
root,
to be
Dark
like
Lord Jeff?
Applebee's type food.
Yeah.
And we get a little conversation where people give a bunch of information out. David says Mitch has this advantage where he can block a vote. To me, that seems like a terrible advantage. Like it seems really hard to actually make that happen. However, it's not putting the target on that an idol would. And he also says Eva has an idol. Why are you doing this, David? Why are you saying a member of your alliance has an idol? I don't get this.
I think it's like as he said, he wants to be playing this kind of honesty game and he doesn't like people keeping the secrets and whatever. So I think he's just like everything out in the open to everybody. Yeah. This is what I know. I'm telling you what I know. But I agree. I thought that this was a little bit of an error as well. We see the other team, the losers. I guess if you
think they're already going to get the info, but whatever.
We see the losers washing off in the ocean. Charity does some tattoo play. She puts her hands up like this as she's washing off in the ocean. And I saw on one of her biceps a microphone tattoo. Did you see that? Is she a podcaster?
She a podcaster? I don't know. I doubt it.
Cedric, then he's ITMing. He's ITMing tears at letting other people down on his challenge. The people who have been to tribal council tell the others who haven't that it's awful and horrifying. Joe says none of it should ever be easy. And Shaheen is like, the only place to really play the game is at tribal council. Mitch then ITM's paranoia is setting in. 13 people voting is going to be absolute chaos. Charity talks to Mitch about voting for Say. She ITMs that she wants Eva out, but there are some easier votes to have. Charity then talks to Cedric about Say. Cedric doesn't think she trusts him. Charity then ITMs that you have to be likable to win this game, and Say is not. Joe, Eva, and Shaheen then talk. They're targeting Charity. Shaheen doesn't think that there is a Siva 6 strong, but he doesn't even want to give them that opportunity. And he ITMs that tonight is about drawing a battle line, and when the winners get back from their feast, all hell is going to break loose. So we're starting to position, at least in the editing, from what I understand, is everybody talks basically about everybody as a possibility, and then they just cut it to be like whatever they want.
Yeah,
so
it'll be down to these couple people.
From the editing, it's seeming like Say, Eva, and Charity are like possibly in the mix here. Portion 6, we open on a beautiful shot. It's an open mouth of a manta ray swimming in the deep blue waters with different little fish suckling the goo off its body. And this manta ray swims up the vertical line of the screen, and it's a wipe to see the beautiful island that we are all on. And this wiping manta ray, open mouth, beautiful creature was my creature of the week.
This manta ray, which I saw in person,
That exact one?
on my honeymoon, this exact one, I'm pretty
Holy
sure,
shit.
was
That's
my
Creature of the week.
I snorkeled with the manta rays. I had never seen one before in my life. I did not even know a thing kind of existed that's this big and like it looks like a dinosaur. I mean, I think I got it mixed up with like, I don't know, a horseshoe crab or something, but it looks like a dinosaur. It's so crazy. Awesome.
Did you get pics?
Oh yeah. They let us take a GoPro out. I got videos. You can see me pushing the water away, trying to get away from the manta ray.
You thought it was
our,
gonna eat
our
you up?
guide goes, I don't want to freak you out, but it's right behind you. I was like, ah!
Yeah. You know, that's how Crocodile Hunter died. Not manta ray, but I think a stingray got him.
I think I was confused with stingrays, which are smaller.
I don't know if
the
they're
mantas
small or
can
not,
be
but they have
really
tails
big.
that get you.
Oh.
I don't think manta rays are.
Okay. Look, I don't
violent
know that
like
much
that.
about creatures, but I know that this was a manta. It looks like your whole head can fit in its mouth.
Probably.
Yeah.
Should have tried it.
No.
Say is
You're not
telling
supposed to
the
touch
losers
any of
here-
them.
What's
You
that?
heard? You're not supposed to touch any of these majestic creatures of the sea. You'll mess up their biome.
Oh, shit. I didn't realize.
Our guide told me that they heard of some whale shark snorkeling where some guy was like holding onto the back of the fin. And you can kill him that way because you give them the wrong germs.
I did that with dolphins in Mexico.
You held onto its tail and rode?
I rode dolphins. Like
I don't know
Namor,
what
the
their biome
Submariner.
situation is.
These were captive dolphins.
They're probably okay then.
Yeah. Say is telling the...
Actually, if they're captive dolphins, they're probably not okay.
Yeah, they're probably not okay at all.
Yeah. We
I
need
did
to
feel
protect
sad.
the sea creatures.
I was forced to do it. My parents
I'm
bought
sorry.
a package. This was a family trip to Mexico. My parents bought some all-inclusive package that included swimming with the dolphins. None of my family would do it.
Are
I
you
had
a child or an adult?
What's that?
Are you a child or an adult?
I was 32, I think.
Oh, wow.
It was a nightmare hellish trip, but none of my family would do the swimming with the dolphins. And despite having 103-degree fever and being horribly ill, I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. So I did it. I rode the dolphins and it was worth doing. It was very fun.
Seems cool.
It was.
Dolphins are cool.
Say here is telling the losers all the things that they got to eat. Shaheen screams to the gods when she says mozzarella sticks. He's like, I wanted mozzarella sticks. I thought that was pretty good.
Get
Mozz.
that spawn con.
Get the hot mozz.
We see this one-on-one between Cedric and Star, and Cedric produces tears again for Star, and Star says, you good. and then does something that we see a lot in Survivor, which is she then says, your kids are proud of you, even though theoretically she doesn't know that.
Theoretically, no, she has a secret relationship with his children and knows them very well, and smuggled in a cell phone, and she's talking to them on a daily basis, and they have corroborated indeed they're proud of their father.
Yeah.
She has this info right. I can tell. I can feel it.
Yeah. She sang him her boat song too.
Yeah.
He says, let's walk. And he says, I'm going to turn these tears into strategy. And he likes that somebody sees his work. We then see Mary, Say, and Cedric talking. And Mary goes, let's go with the easy vote, charity. And they're like, well, we should maybe talk about other people, but let's do the easy vote. We see Kyle and Eva talk, and Kyle reveals to Eva, Say said you at the merge feast. And Eva starts spinning. Oh, I'm getting nervous for tonight because I'm a target and I have an idol, so there's a lot of eyes on me, which is scary. And it could be Charity, but it could be me. And I want to get rid of Charity because she is the chaos queen. And we see Joe and Mary discussing, and Mary's like, Say is really good at tribal. And we see Mary's ITM that she's not scared of Charity because she's a turtle. And
but Say is a snake. So this is which one of the reptilian creatures are you more scared of, the serpent or the turtle?
I saw turtle too.
Depends on what kind of turtle. Let's be real.
What?
There's some big ass turtles. Snapping turtles?
Turtles are cute.
Some of them are mean as fuck.
What?
Some turtles are fucking dinosaurs. You want to talk about dinosaurs?
I know. They're
tortoises.
Ancient looking.
Those things are horrifying.
Horrifying? They're majestic dinosaurs. What do you mean?
I don't
horrifying
know.
In what way? They don't like eat people. You're thinking
Not
of a
all
hippo.
snakes do either. What?
No,
there
snakes
are
are
turtles
evil.
that can snap your fucking arm off.
Turtles don't snap people's arms off.
Some do. If provoked.
Show
I
me.
know this to be true.
What? Did you provoke a turtle?
Not me. Shaheen continues to do the vote math as he's ITMing the problem of sending Say home is that it strengthens the old Siva. David then ITMs that he doesn't know if he can trust Mitch and Charity, but he trusts them more than Say. She has dread, he says, but most people share this common enemy. Both Charity and Say have no friends, so they have targets that they can take out. And then we get portion 7, night 13. This is the tribal council, the first all-player tribal council. The new tribal counselors dip their torches and get fire per Dark Lord Jeff's demands. Come on in, and if you haven't gotten fire, get your torch, dip it in, and get fire. As we know, this is my Dark Lord Jeff. It's pretty good, I think. It's coming along. As we know, fire represents your life here at Survivor, and once you snuff it out, you go home.
I think you need more energy.
You're right. Come on in.
Yeah.
Get your torches, dip them in the fire, get fire.
Yeah.
As you know, here on Survivor, fire represents your life. And when it gets snuffed out, you go home. Now, sit down. Shaheen, what's it like at camp with 13 people? That's not bad.
Okay, that was great. That was chilling. Dark Lord Jeff does some really interesting play during this tribal council, by the way.
He does during all of them. That's like his favorite time is when he gets to like twist him and turn him and like ask the questions. I bet those tribal councils in real life take like 6 hours.
Oh, definitely.
He just won't shut up.
They're like, Jeff, we want to go home.
Now, Cedric, I know you watch some TV shows. What are you watching back home? Do you like the HBO? Are you watching White Lotus, Cedric? What do you think of the season? It's pretty
White
crazy.
Lotus, Cedric.
Yeah. It's like, what, dude, what are you talking about? Are we going to vote or not?
I have 5 more dance examples I can do as a metaphor. I think the people are going to really like this. I'm being silly.
What did he say? He was like, is it a condo party? What was he talking about?
I was going to ask you. I was like, is this some sort of reference? What is a condo party?
I have no idea. A club condo party. And he keeps going like, you're at a dinner party. And then it's like a club. It's a dance party and people are dancing.
Condo?
Yeah.
No.
There's a guy in the corner doing the robot. Is that you? Or are you the guy breakdancing on the floor? Are you the guy asking somebody else? I did not get this at all. He's trying to like
wild.
I have to imagine you've done 48 seasons of this fucking show and you're doing a tribal council in every one of the episodes. Mm-hmm. So, and you're trying to be entertaining. At this point, this fucker's running on fumes. Just first thing to mind is coming out of the mouth and put it in the cut because he's also an EP. So I bet they're editing this shit and they're like,
oh God.
Hey, Dark Lord Jeff, we're going to lose all this weird dance shit. Fuck you. That was my best material. Yeah, it's all going in. Even the robot dance. This is Survivor.
Dark Lord Jeff, I don't think people are going to know what a condo club is.
Yeah.
Put it in. Everyone knows what a condo club is.
He's like, 1986, Miami Condo Club. I was there. Everybody knows about it. That was the best party in South Florida.
Oh, my God. There's a dog park metaphor they get into here.
This thing was a mess.
It's club condo situation. Eva, how you doing? Eva keeps repeating she doesn't know if people are lying to her.
Yeah.
And won't let, but she's not gonna let that hold her back in the game. She's made good connections. Hopefully they feel the same way about me. Very Bachelor.
For what it's worth, I got a little touch of this myself. I can't fucking tell when people are lying at me either.
I know. You can't tell when I'm joking constantly. Yeah. I will say the most wild shit to you as a joke, and you'll take me seriously. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, what does Clues think of me? That he thinks I'm being serious about this. And then I remember the tism.
Yeah, it's just weird. But that said, I also like, at least in one capacity, professionally write jokes. Isn't that bizarre?
I mean... But I think it's like in part because of your unique perspective on the world, as my mother put in my wedding toast.
Yeah,
I've always had a unique perspective.
Lizzie's mom fucking roasted my ass during her wedding toast. I was like, "How? I'm a guest." She was
roasting my ass too.
Yeah, that's
it was
fine.
A roast.
You're her daughter and you're the bride. All that is expected. I'm like, how am I catching fucking strays here? I'm just sitting here trying to eat a piece of bread. What the fuck's going on?
Was it the unique perspective on the world part? Was that
Yeah. And then brought up my exact name. I was like, okay. I guess
think I would be honored when I get mentioned in the speech.
Okay. I'll take it as an honor.
To be
then.
a part of it. You're my business partner. Important to me, obviously. Oh my God. My parents crushed it. I wanted their speech for me to go on for like an hour.
Your mom was...
I was dying.
Oh God, she was funny.
Yeah. We see then Joe is talking about how this is very stressful emotionally, mentally, physically, but they're real people. They're sharing these stories. Might seem crazy from the couch. No couch Monday morning quarterbackers here, but we're super vulnerable. And Shaheen says, I'm telling people things I haven't told my friends and family. Is he? Can we see some of these things? What is he?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not sure exactly. I mean, we've got David revealing that he has 4 nipples and drinks milk only. Shaheen has never said anything like that.
David has revealed so much of his life. I got to the trailer park and my girlfriend wants the 4 kids, but she's 32, so she's almost over the hill. And then he was like, he's talking about all of his hobbies versus how he's too poor. And I'm like, he's talking about how he's going scuba and all this shit. That is like one of the most expensive hobbies you can do. You got to stop scuba.
He loves
David. Stop
when scuba's
scuba.
in the blood, you can't stop scuba.
Stop
he likes
scuba.
pole, he likes scuba, he likes
kids.
milk, chocolate specifically. I feel like David at some point is going to reveal that he like committed some kind of crime that he hasn't yet been caught for. Guys, I got away with a bank robbery 7 years ago and I took $150,000 out of a safe deposit box. They never caught me.
I can so relate because I find myself oversharing quite often. I think it might be because of podcasting in part. And just like cutting to the chase of like, are we going to get along or not?
Speaking of oversharing, I regretted this as I was doing it. This happened 3 days ago. I got a massage and I had taken some medicine as I do before I go into these massages. And as I came out to pay, I was still heavily under the influence of the medicine. And the dude behind the counter that I was paying, he's like, "Oh, how'd it go in there?" And I was like, "It was great. I got so much work done. I got a bunch of stuff done on this book that I'm working on. I got a bunch of stuff done on this TV show I'm trying to come up with. And I figured out how I need to recut this episode of a podcast I do with my parents about politics." And he was just like, "Okay, so here's your total." I was just like, whatever.
You know that person has heard weirder stuff than that. I got my second professional massage of my life on this honeymoon. It was so amazing. I see why you do it all the time.
I trance out. If you take enough medicine and you listen to the right music and they hit the right spots with the right amount of pressure, I'm not on planet Earth anymore. It's just like it's like a waterfall of images and thoughts just coming a million miles a second. I love it.
I want to go to space.
Yeah, me too. For real. Anyways, Charity says, it's hard, but the connections here are real. But she is there to win. And 13 people are a lot of conversations to have. There are people who didn't approach her at all. That gets brought up here. And she's like, "My left eye has been twitching all day." I thought that was pretty funny.
That was funny.
Deal Jeff that goes back to his strange dancing analogy. And he's like, "But the game is finding about people who you want to talk to." And Say says it's a dysfunctional but cliquey family. And that's honest. Star then says there are family members she doesn't like in her real life, just like Survivor. But you just hope not to snuff your torch out.
When Say talks about how it's a most dysfunctional family, Shaheen opens those eyes wide in shock. And this was my
Face play of the game.
I remember that. It was a good face play.
It was good.
Then Deal Jeff, ever the showman, says, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about these families that don't love each other. I loved my little brother. Shout out to you, Brent."
Middle brother.
Sorry.
They're saying
Brent
middle brothers
Probst.
don't get love. Shout out to Max DeP, my sister, middle child.
We only got
She's
2
getting
children in
married
my
in 1
family.
month.
We got the better child and the other child.
Are you other?
Make your own conclusions. Eva then explains that she talked to everybody.
By the way, this makes me want to do a Deal Jeff scripted series just about this unhinged person, but posting.
I would love
show.
to see the scripted series of Deal Jeff would be him coming back after Survivor. It's like, what does he do when he returns back to the mainland and is like, "I'm fucking Jeff Probst, god damn it."
He's screaming at everyone.
Yeah, turning everything into Survivor.
Yeah.
He orders a steak at a restaurant and is back in the kitchen. "Come on, let's go. This is Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Dive into that grease."
Yeah, he's just eating Applebee's every day.
Yeah. "Where's the hot mots?" Kyle explains that his vote is based on being able to call on a person in a bind. He doesn't know who's reliable in this game. You can't be the person giving lifelines all the time. Deal Jeff then asks David how this vote's going to affect the group. David says it's going to affect the rest of the season. This is about honesty and integrity, unlike other seasons. He gets that in there. Time to vote. Mitch is up first. We don't see any of these votes. We see Star accidentally throwing the pen cap. Eva wonders why everything is shaped like garlic. I thought that was funny. And then Deal Jeff comes back for the tally of the votes.
The thing holding the immunity idol was shaped like garlic. I thought it was
weird.
Very odd.
I don't know what any of it is. Is it meant to be like a seashell or I don't know. I literally don't know. It's all bizarre. This is the art department. "Come on, art department. Why is everything shaped like I told you at the beginning of the season? No more garlic shapes. And now it's all shaped like garlic. You've gone the other direction."
It's like when we hired that person to do some art once, and we were don't put basketballs in it, and they just kept putting basketballs in it.
This was, I just was Googling around to find a graphic designer to make logos. This was a long time ago for the teams that we came up with, the parasocial teams. And so I just found some online graphic design, whatever. And I sent them a little brief that was very detailed about here's what each team's logo is and what the colors should be and what they represent and all this shit.
Obviously a parasocial team of all the people and their social media power for the team.
And I was
based
very
on
clear.
sports, but not sport.
Yeah, I was very clear. Like, this is not football, baseball, basketball, or hockey. This is a parasocial team. It's like a sport, but it is not any of the known sports. So I send this brief and send the initial amount of money, whatever it was. And then they send me back their first attempts at this. It's every logo for like the LA Icons, the New York City Influence. They all literally had basketballs in the logo. Was this somehow foreshadowing Grant's season? I don't know. So I send back the email, say like, these are great, except they should not have basketballs in them.
Yeah,
so
no basketballs.
Yeah, they're like, can you give me an example of like what a thing might look like? And so I send them a Lakers logo and I say, just like this, but no basketball. They send me another wave back. They all have fucking basketballs in them. They just could not make a logo that didn't have a basketball in it.
So
and so
funny.
I had to move on. I couldn't believe it.
It was hilarious.
It was like a 3 month long
It was kind of like when
process.
you try to do that with like an AI or something. You're like this, but with no basketballs, and they'll be like, I see the word basketball.
And they kept saying, like, after I was like, look, thank you very much. I have to move on. I'm very sorry. I can't use any of these. They were like, let us try again. Let us try again. And that process went on for, I would say, about 3 months, where I'd be like, fine, here's the brief, no basketballs. And there was always a fucking basketball in every one of these goddamn logos. Like, they just couldn't not do it. Anyways, Jeff tallies the votes here. Say, charity, Cedric, say, charity, say, charity, 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 charity. Dark Lord Jeff tosses them the merge buffs after Charity snuffs her fire out. And DL Jeff is like, here you go. Now put on your buffs. David here does some sniff play on his new buff. I don't know if you noticed that. He cracks that fresh buff and just inhales it. And
dance like you're at Club Condo.
Yeah. I hope Club Condo is the next reward for one of their challenges. Yeah. And the winner's going to get one night in Club Condo with me doing the robot until I pass out. Deal, Jeff. They all put on their buff, and then they head back to camp. Charity's exit speech. She is sad but not bitter that they got her. She played her heart out. And there will be some answering, I think, for whoever voted for Cedric. And I guess that's it, because everybody else was Say and Charity. And Say has some work to do next season or next episode to kind of counteract. Like, she obviously is next on the chopping block unless she gets immunity in the challenge or can somehow reorganize the dynamic of this group to not want to eliminate her. But I think, in my opinion, writing's on the wall. I think she is the target for next episode.
I guess, but I'm also like, Say finds a way. Every episode, I think Say is going to go home.
That is true. Who was your MVP, PaceCase?
For his tier play and for always getting out of being, from the episodes I've seen, he keeps messing up the challenges, but nobody seems to blame him. Cedric was my MVP.
Okay, sure.
It was yours.
For me, Kyle was my MVP. I think in all sports, there are moments where players are put to the test. These moments where, in the playoffs, who do you want to have the ball in there? This is a basketball analogy. Sorry. I mean, not sorry. Who do you want to have the ball?
Pinocchio.
Who do you want to have the ball if you're in a playoff situation with 0.02 seconds left on the clock? In one sense, it's Derek Fisher, but usually
Karl Anthony Towns.
It's LeBron James. It's players like that. It's Steph Curry. It's the guys who are going to sink that shot when there is no time on the clock on the biggest stage in the world. And I feel like Kyle rose to that challenge, knowing that this first immunity challenge meant so much. Not only does it mean you're not going to get voted out tribal council, you also get that merge buff. It's
and the food.
He just did it. He just did it. Point blank. Better than anybody else. And I'm excited to see what he can do for the rest of the season. I hope that in these individual challenges, he just fucking dominates them. I would love to see that.
I hope so too. I think Kyle is almost like too good a player that I don't even like think about him when I'm like MVP. I'm like, well, yeah, he won all the challenges. Exactly. He did all the great social play, whatever.
He's good at the physical challenge. Like, we didn't even talk about this when the purple team, They didn't have names at this point, but when they were in the two groups doing that first challenge, it was David and Kyle who hung back on that rope ladder and were helping the rest of their team up. They were just like suspended off of it, just like hoisting people up over the thing. And so he's got the physical tools to win like physical challenges. He clearly has the fucking mental tools because he's got a secret alliance going that nobody knows about. That's also psychosocial dynamic tools. He's just got it all. He's got like every piece that you really need, I think, to be good at this game. Maybe later he'll be seen as a threat because of that. I don't know. But right now, he's in the fucking driver's seat, in my opinion.
I think he will be seen as a threat, but I'm rooting for him and Camila.
Me too. I like that little duo. But that wraps up our recap.
Don't want David to leave or say or star.
Yeah.
I'm very much enjoying those performances. And Mary.
I want Dark Lord Jeff to come back next episode, having had plastic surgery to give himself 2 extra nipples, and then be like, David, you're not the only one with 4 nipples. I got these things done at a condo party back in 1988, and they're still holding up. I don't know.
Oh my God. I was hoping you were going to say, he's like all disheveled. He's like, I stayed up all night at Club Condo. Y'all couldn't hang.
He just shows up in sunglasses. Whole energy's off. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the challenge. I had a late night at Club Condo. Keep it down. Jesus Christ. Stop yelling.
DLJ's like least energy episode of all time in Survivor, he's still screaming. He has 1 volume.
I know. Oh God. All right. Anyways, that is our recap for this episode. What were we? Episode 6 of Survivor season 48. We'll be back, of course, next week to recap the next episode. And we will have next week at some point, Twibbin. I don't know what day we're going to record that yet or how we're going to roll it out. It might be coming out on a Tuesday.
I think it's coming out on Tuesday.
Mondays.
Yeah.
So they'll kind of recap the prior week, come out on Tuesday. I think that's how we're going to do it. So we'll have Tuesday, Thursday episodes just as they are now. But thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we'll be back soon.
Praise be Dark Lord Jeff.
Please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast. Please get a friend to listen to us, and then please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast.